The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society.
Now we need a sense of global responsibility. Think 6 billion humanity equal.
Sometimes it falls upon a generation to be great.
Because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping.
It is time that we all perceive gender on a spectrum instead of two sets of opposing ideals.
We must rise to the majestic heights of meeting physical force with soul force.
Within the sound of silence.
But in order to talk freely of those things, you have to release yourself of those pains.
You see, love liberates. It doesn't bind. Love says, I love you. I love you if you're in China. I love you if you're across town. I love you if you're in Harlem. I love you.
If you hit a talib with your shoe, then there would be no difference between you and that talib. You must not treat others that much with cruelty and that much harshly. You must fight others, but through peace and through dialogue and through education. Then I said, I'll tell him how important education is and that I even want education for your children as well. And I'll tell him, that's what I want to tell you. Now do what you want.
And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more.
You can be that great a generation.
I said that why shall I wait for someone else? Why shall I be looking to the government, to the army, that they would help us? Why don't I raise my voice? Why don't we speak up for our
One
rights?
day right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today.
Confident that with your help, man will be what he was born to be, free and
You
independent.
know what's right. Just do right. You don't really have to ask anybody. The truth is, right may not be expedient. It may not be profitable, but it will satisfy your soul.
Of course, the task will not be easy, but not to do this would be a crime against humanity.
All that is needed for the forces of evil to triumph is for good men and women to do nothing.
Think about my granddad's lap. Think often about that night. About how some people are waiting for people like us to slide our hands against their walls and say, close your eyes. I'm going to turn on a light.
Welcome to the Forum on CHRW. My name is David Seston. In ancient Rome, the Forum stood as a place where all were able to come out and discuss matters of public interest and concern, and they were able to do so in a free and open environment. Recently, at Western University and other universities around the world, students do not feel that they are able to speak their minds or ask the questions about subjects that concern them. They feel they will be judged by their friends, their peers, and their seniors because they question what is being told to them and whether what they're being told is right or wrong. We cannot have a free and just society where people are afraid to ask the questions and are afraid to speak up. This forum is a project aiming to open dialogue on these subjects that concern students. It is a place where students can talk to other students while trying to get an idea on the concepts that are floating around them without knowing why it's there. There won't be any professors or academics lecturing. This forum will be the student's voice. Because if you hear us talk about it, then maybe it's okay for you to talk about it with your friends and your classmates. The forum will focus on the what, the why, and the how. What the issue is, why it has become an issue, and how it affects Western students specifically and university students in general. This week on the forum, I've asked that they run an older episode, to give me a moment. I was going to sit down with Yoav and continue a conversation we started last week when we had finished the episode about the incident on campus. It was going to be, and probably still will be, a conversation about racism, changing of words, white privilege, and where you, I, and everyone sort of fits into this fight. When I talked to Yoav about taping it, I was excited. Then Tuesday rolled around, and I didn't have it in me. I didn't have the fight or the passion. Not today. So I postponed it. But I felt that I should say something, and wanted to take the opportunity to add something new. This won't go on the air at CHRW, but you're listening to it over YouTube, which I think is good for now. I also wanted to remind everyone out there that these are just my opinions, and if you have a counter argument, I would love to hear from you, either in the comments sections here or on David on the Radio. We all get tired. Some days you don't have the energy to fight against everything. And what I've learned since starting the forum is that it really does feel like you're fighting against everything and everyone. Let me use a train of thought leading to an upcoming show as an example. I was reading an article relating to bias in the workplace. A friend of mine and fellow CHRW member Sarah had posted it to provoke thought. Because one of the conclusions that the researchers came to was that in order to fix bias, you need to force people to confront their own and make them write it down, which is cool. It's an interesting angle. I still need to digest it and check out the research, but it's definitely a really cool idea. But beside it was a YouTube link to Always Like a Girl campaign. This video asked men and women to run like a girl or throw like a girl, and everyone did exactly what you expected. And then the video asked, when did like a girl become a negative? I encourage you to check it out and support it because it's worthwhile, but it reminded me of another campaign, the Because I Am a Girl campaign. Again, this is an incredibly powerful and needed campaign. It tries to help elevate women around the world, but there's another side to it. A campaign that failed to gain footing, partially because of its name. It was called Because I Am a Boy, and it aimed at helping child soldiers. In counterpoint to the female campaign, which stated, because I am a girl, I will watch my brothers go to school. Because I am a girl, I get to eat if there's food left over from everyone else. Because I am a girl, I will be the poorest of the poor. The male campaign said, because I am a boy, I will be forced to kill my neighbor. Because I am a boy, I will be forced to dehumanize women and take whatever I want. Because I am a boy, I will be taught that human life has no value, including my own. But it faced backlash because of the name. The fight against child soldiers and female oppression continues, but I have to ask, when did believing in one thing automatically make you against the other? This brings us back to the Like a Girl campaign. I cannot tell you how much I agree with this campaign and think that it's needed, but I wonder about the other side. Be a man, or maybe man up. Earlier this year, someone I knew committed suicide. I didn't know him well enough to call him a friend, but people that I call friends called him a friend, and that's good enough for me. And I can still see the impact of that event on their faces. I don't know if he was ever told to man up or be a man. I don't know if it factored into his decisions, and I don't think we'll ever know. But I can tell you that it factored into my heading into a dark place, and it's one of the major things that kept me there and stopped me from reaching out for help for a very long time. I also know that it has been a factor for a lot of my guy friends at some point in their lives. I wonder how a similar campaign done by Gillette or Reebok would go over. And this leads to the everything has to be a fight. And it starts to wear you down. You start to lose faith in humanity a little bit when you're forced to fight every day. Next week, I'm going to sit down with 3 or 4 incredibly intelligent, witty, and amazing young ladies. Women I respect, trust, and call friends. And I'm going to talk to them about feminism. I am going to be the only guy in a room with 4 women talking about feminism. When I talk to people about upcoming shows and I say that, their reaction is pretty similar to what yours probably was. Wow, you're brave. Are you worried you're going to say something wrong? Of course I am. I'm going to say something wrong, something stupid, something that's probably antagonistic. Have you met me? And this is indicative of the problem. What's so bad about me saying something stupid or wrong? As long as it's not blatantly harmful or bigoted, then questions, even dumb ones, need to be encouraged. The second you are shamed for not thinking the exact same way, it doesn't make the question go away. You just internalize it. Instead of asking more questions, you shy away from the conversations, and someone that could have contributed to the fight for equality has been sidelined. I don't have any answers. I certainly don't know how to fix things or even what's right or wrong beyond my own moral compass. All I can do is keep asking questions so maybe others can as well. If you don't agree with me, that's awesome. That's amazing. That's the point of this whole thing. Tell me why, though. add it to the comment section or shoot me a message on Facebook via the David on the Radio page. Hell, if you see me walking through the UCC and I don't have that, oh my God, I am late for class look on my face, then come talk to me. I would be glad to hear your point of view, because that's what this is all about, opening up conversation. I'm going to end this with a thought. When did it become about one or the other, not both? When did standing up or talking about one thing automatically make you against another? When did it become us against them? You're either with us or against us. When did your sex, religion, sexuality, color, or race dictate what you stand for and who you're with or who you're against? Remember, only Sith deal in absolutes.
Hi there, I'm Matt McGrath. I'm in 4th year BMOS, and you're listening to 94.9 CHRW.